I got a call from Epic saying, "Hey, I want you to know that you are on trajectory right now to seize more crack cocaine than any other cop in the nation." I said, "You're kidding me?" He said, "Oh no, right now you are neck and neck with the New Jersey State Police. You guys are seizing by far more crack than any other law enforcement agency in the nation." Crack actually came out in March of 1986. Believe it or not, it was March of 1988 when crack first came out. And it was pretty much confined to the Haitian communities, then the Jamaican communities. But it really poisoned our inner cities. Those are the ones that were being adversely affected more than anyone else. So I had my marching orders: go after the dope because we're losing lives. Be a cadet with the Maryland State Police. And I didn't get selected my first time. And I processed again. You can process every 6 months. I didn't get selected my second time. So then I requested my scores from the Maryland State Police, and I saw how high I'd scored. And I requested a meeting with the State Police Personnel Management Commander, who was a captain by the name of E.J. Lennox. And I had never been west of the Chesapeake Bay Bridge in my state. And State Police headquarters was in Pikesville, Maryland. So I made the long drive to Pikesville, Maryland, which is about a 2-hour and 15-minute drive to headquarters. I was very intimidated. I was scared to death. But I wanted to know why I wasn't chosen. And I wanted to know what I needed to do differently if I wanted to continue to compete for very few positions. I know they were processing anywhere between 25 and 35,000 applicants every 6 months. And I was pulled in, and the captain, and it's actually in a book that I'm writing now. He looked at me. He said, "I'm going to be honest with you." He said, "You're not the right color and you're not the right sex." Yeah, we've been staying very, very busy. Got a lot of great things going on. I got to go to D.C. tomorrow to meet with our new FBI director, Kash Patel.
Oh, that's amazing.
I'll spend the night up there tomorrow night, and on Friday, I'm headed to the Department of Justice and meet with Pam Bondi. Keep in mind, Kenny, that was only 28 grams of heroin and 73 grams of crack. But those were the two largest seizures of those two substances ever made in that county's history. When I got to the barrack commander made it very clear to me, "You go ahead and start your paperwork. I'm going to be calling the press. We're going to hold a press conference here at the barrack." For 28 grams of heroin and 73 grams of crack, we held a press conference. And I remember displaying the bags of dope on a table. And by the way, they were not individually packaged bags. It was 1 ounce of heroin in one baggie and 73 grams of crack in another baggie. They weren't even broken down for distribution. That would be done later when they got to their destination. But we held this press conference, and the next day I did paperwork all day. And then I went back out there the following day and made the largest marijuana seizure ever made in that county's history. My state, I was in the top 5 every year of all the troopers across the state. We had 1,700 troopers at that time. And I was getting large wooden plaque awards, and I was getting a new police car every year, and I was getting my choice of leave. They really had incentives for you to go out there and work hard. They really did. And quite frankly, there were no quotas. There were expectations, but there were no quotas. And despite what one might say, now the whiners, those who bitch and complain, we'll call them quotas. They're not quotas. They're expectations. You go out there and work, put a good day's work in. That's what your taxpayers expect you to do. But number one, man, we all know that your day goes by like that if you're out there stopping cars and you're searching cars and you're locking people up. And I printed this out for show. He announced this is a Maryland State Police Trooper newsletter. And if you look at this Trooper newsletter, it is dated May and June of 2003. And right here is the superintendent's message. And he announced the creation of a brand new interstate criminal enforcement team being led by me. And I was brought in and told to select who I wanted to be on the team. And I was told, don't worry about diversity. We want workers on the team. We want those who are proven, hardcore, working troopers who can get the job done. And I was told, don't worry about diversity. And we went out there and started one hell of an interdiction team. And it was diverse because I had some great guys from which to choose. And I was also told, let me know if you need Mustangs, Camaros, whatever you need to get the job done. So we were put back out there, and within weeks after this new team was created, we stopped a Dodge Intrepid northbound on Interstate 95 in Cecil County, Maryland. And based on indicators present during the traffic stop, we sought permission to search the car. And when we popped the trunk, there were 2 dead bodies in the trunk. Yeah. Both were victims of multiple gunshot wounds to the face, the upper torso. They were wrapped in plastic. They were then wrapped in comforters that were removed from a hotel room beds, and they were shoved in the trunk of the car. We obviously secured the scene, wrote a warrant for the vehicle when we removed the bodies from the rear of the car. It was a false compartment built behind the back seat. We would get over $100,000 in cash, $105,000 to be exact, out of that vehicle. And I had incredible guys like Mike Connor that were, natural leaders. You know what I mean? And when they first had that stop, I wasn't on that stop, by the way. I was in the classroom teaching. Mike Connor called me up and he said, Sarge, I need your help. This is what we got. And I'll never forget that as long as I live. I was in East Lansing, Michigan, teaching a class, interdiction class, when Connor called me on that stop. So under Mike Connor's leadership, that team grew. And I was the sergeant on the team. Mike was a TFC, got promoted to corporal. And that wasn't the first time, by the way, a car had been stopped in Maryland and bodies were found in the trunk. My God, that's happened many times in Maryland alone, Kenny.